just some general announcements. Yeah, we're going over some general announcements and then our resume workshop. So upcoming events right now is the SWE National Conference. I know if you guys are attending that, good luck on the career fair, I believe is today. And then also this Friday is Women Engineers at the Beach Day. So if you're volunteering for that, thank you. And then we have our career fair on the 21st. So hopefully you can prepare your resumes here today for that. Just reminder, get as many points as you can, especially if you're running for a position next year. And come study with us. We have the same office hours, so come study with us. If you guys need any advice on anything, more than welcome. Yeah, like I said, Women at the Beach Day, November 6th. So that's one of our large events. Yeah, if anybody's coming to the room, please admit them. And then virtual career fair. Spots are limited, so you can still just RSVP. And then connect with us. If you guys need any links, let us know. Thank you. So for our next GBM, still be determined, but I wrote that wrong. But it's going to be November 18th. So developing your resume. Before I get started, I want to know where everyone's at. Like, do you guys have a resume? First time making one, experienced adding on, like 1 to 5, how much you guys know about resumes. Since there's not that many people, we can actually tailor it to whoever needs help. Chats. Okay, so freshman, yeah. Is everyone freshman, sophomore, transfer, or
Want egg?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. All right. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat. Okay, so everyone has one or just improving on. So you know the basics, content, you want your information, education, all the skills and certification you can have, and then any kind of experience period, especially if you're just starting, and also relevant coursework. That's especially important if you are new. So layout is definitely key. If it's easier to look at, then a recruiter will be, they'll spend more time on it. But if it's hard to, organize or look through, they're not as willing to, or they'll find it unprofessional. So you definitely want to be able to split your sections, but be consistent so that everything lines up. They look at so many resumes, so any little inconsistency, it'll really bug them. They can spot it instantly. And have it spread out. You want to make sure the white space that you have works properly. I'll give some examples soon, later on, probably at the end, but yeah, you definitely want to spread out your information and make it easy to read through and guide through. So contact information, very simple. I would say just have your cell phone, not a landline, and a professional email. So if you have to make a new email because you had it when you're really young and you have like a weird name, definitely make a new email with your first and last name only. And check it constantly every day, even the junk. I've had some recruiting emails go to junk before, so definitely want to check that. You don't need, so this example I gave, they have their address. You don't need an address on your resume. It's not necessary. But and if you have a LinkedIn, like we talked about last GBM, definitely include the link to that. Because your LinkedIn page should resemble closely to your resume and show all your experience. So education section, your school, degree type, GPA, everything that you would expect. I would say if your GPA is below 3.0, consider not putting it there, like omitting it, unless they do require or specifically ask for it, then you can let them know. And then you can also explain why. I mean, I understand it's engineering, it happens. It shouldn't be something you're afraid to admit. But yeah, if it is below 3.0, either put your major GPA if it's more, or just don't include it. So here's an example. I would say for this example, they have it all, the information hugging one side. I definitely say to spread it out, like the expected, oh yeah, I forgot. Expected graduation is also very important because they want to know if it is for an internship, how many internships you can potentially, how many summers you have left before you graduate. But yeah, maybe spreading that out, like the GPA or the expected date, to one side rather than all hugging the left side of the page. And they also put their relevant coursework at the beginning. I would recommend to put it at the end. That's where I put mine, because for me, what I think it's more important to have your experience at the top or leadership. But if you are new and you don't have those, then definitely just list out all your coursework. What I do have to say, don't put list out the whole name of the class. Don't put like the number. You know, recruiters aren't going to know class numbers. It's different for every school. Then I would say technical skills. So this definitely just list it out, but do tailor it for what you're applying for. So like if you're applying for research, say what research skills you have, or like, I don't know, for programming, what programming skills you know. And, try to say if you're proficient or excellent, more experienced in some than others. But you do want to put as many as you can, because this, most of the time when you insert your resume online, it's just a program going through it and searching for keywords. And so if you have all those keywords, then the recruiter is going to look over it. So the more you can have, the better. Experience, starting off any kind. So even if you worked at like Starbucks, just you can talk about communication and how you can get along with your other coworkers, how you've experienced rude interactions and whatnot, because at the end of the day, you are working with people, and if you're new, that they want to, if you don't have an experience, they know you don't have an experience, if you're a freshman or sophomore. So they're just trying to see if they can mold you into what they need for their for their company, if it is for internship. But show that you're someone that can get along with others. Yeah, so there's different kinds of experience: research, projects. Oh, I have 2 F's in profession, and then professional experience. So like research experience, there's a lot of programs on campus, so I do encourage you guys to look that up. I was part of Europe, and that was a great way how I got my mentor, but it's also a great place to say how you got experience, even though like maybe you're applying for a job that is not research based. It's still something you can add onto your resume and apply it toward that job in the description. So like in this example, they have the title, the date, and then, just straight bullet points of what they did. And for each job, you should change your resume to kind of target what you did for that job and how that would relate back to whatever you're applying for. So if you are applying for a research, like a summer research experience, change it so you have your research experience at the top, or remove any other professional stuff that aren't relevant. Like if you do have presentations or have attended conferences, you include that as well. Yeah, and then professional, same thing, except, include it for, that job. I'll show you my resume in a little bit. But other experience, like I said, projects, even in class projects, stuff that you found passion toward. And then like hackathons, shadowing. So like if you do become part of the SWEET committee, that's a big thing you can write, saying how you're shadowing someone. Also volunteering, so any volunteer work you do, and membership. I include that just because to say like to figure out if somebody else has been a part of that. Like I've had even like activities, like they want to know what you do in your free time. I've had interviewers ask me that, and to see if they have any common interests. So yeah, relevant coursework. If you don't have too much on your resume, or if you're applying maybe for a research position, I would say maybe you can talk a little more in depth about classes that you may have liked or may have found passionate, or that you think would apply to what you're what you're looking for or trying to achieve. But yeah, sell yourself, be honest. It's all about formatting, tailored to the job you want. So I'm gonna bring up an example. Let me know if you can see it. So this is one example. Can you guys see?
No.
No, you can't. Okay, I'm gonna just stop sharing. But okay. Okay, can you see this example now?
Yeah, we see it now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah. So sorry, I'm looking at the chats right now. So for things in high school, I would say maybe if you are a freshman or sophomore, it's still fine to include some things from high school. But once you do have other experience, I would consider not including that. But yeah, volunteering in something I would include. So this is more a research-based resume, as they have their publications and projects, research experience, education. A summary, like an objective, I've always seen like recruiters be say different things about. So some say you should include, some don't. If you don't have a lot on your resume, I would say maybe include objective, because you're saying I'm looking for this specifically to add to my experience. So, and definitely that objective you would change for every job you're applying to. But this one, I just really like showing this one because of the formatting. So like the spacing, it's definitely easy to follow. Their education, I don't think you have to be that length. I think they have their relevant coursework under their education. And then research experience, I personally would have put that more toward the top. But then, so this is an old resume of mine. It's a little wordy, I would say, but it does get the point across. I put like my zip code just so like companies know I'm in commute. They don't have to worry about housing. My GPA, I kept all my locations of my jobs and the times I was working with them on the side, try to balance out. And then I also included volunteer experience and membership and affiliations. And then I did my relevant coursework at the bottom. But I definitely would change this for whatever experience I'm applying for. This is an old one. but I probably would have this more towards, see this, I would remove. This is old information, but that's from high school. But you know, I don't, if you guys have any other questions. I just went through this quickly so we can figure out what you guys are specifically struggling with. That was just the basics. But do you guys need help specifically on how to explain like what you did for a job, like wording wise? Also kind of, yeah.
I actually have a question. Is this resume in Word?
Yeah, so mine's in Word.
Okay. I've made mine in Word too, but I wasn't sure like how professional that is.
I mean, for engineering, since it is a
Mhm.
technical job, I don't think you
Mhm.
have to get too fancy with it. Yes, it'll stand out if you do
Mhm.
go a little overboard, but it's not, you know, we're not digital art majors or something that it'd be more, or like advertising that probably
Okay.
they'd want it to stand out more. It is technical, like the engineers that are reading it, they
Mhm.
just want to see what skills you have specifically geared for the job that they're looking for.
Okay.
Struggling word for summary. Yeah. So summary, I would change it maybe not to summary, but objective. And then let's see if I have any examples. I haven't wrote an objective in a while. But definitely what you're looking for. Is there any other? Definitely what you're looking for in that objective. Like what experience? Let's see. Oh yeah. See, I also have a list of action verbs that I would recommend. You know, staying away from helping, teaching, highlighting, I don't know, but you know, getting creative with the wording. Heavy wording, I would say try to avoid being too, like, don't have full written out sentences, more specific, just bullet points, just as, like I said, they're skimming over it. They don't want to read a whole paragraph. They're looking at what they think will apply for them, like keywords is what they're pretty much looking for. I know some people have done this in the past when they submit resumes, they put in white writing so you can't see it, like certain keywords, so that way they'll light up on you know, by the programs on the computer. So I don't know if people still do that, but that was an old trick. Also, what else would I recommend? Oh, when submitting your resume, what's a big thing too is make sure the naming of the file is resume and your first name and last name. So that when recruiters do get it or do receive it, they have your name and they can easily refer back to your resume. Also, I would say for formatting reasons, when you submit your resume, don't have it as a Word doc, submit it as a PDF. So that way, nothing, like if they have an older version, formatting won't get lost. You know, you'll keep your formatting. And if they do want a Word document, just send both so that way they know what it originally looked like. Yeah, so, you know, keep it sweet and to the point, but definitely include anything you can, any projects. Like in my intro to engineering class, we did some projects. So I just remember my freshman year, I included some of those, you know. And just because you don't have all the skills that they're looking for doesn't mean you shouldn't apply. Always apply. Your resume is your ticket in, you know. So, oh, and that's another thing. When you're looking at job descriptions, if this is for specifically for jobs, they usually have keywords that they say multiple times, or you know, what they're looking for. Try to include those in your resume because those are words that they will be looking for, you know. So, yeah. Is there any resumes that anybody would want them to look like to be looked over? We could do breakout rooms or any other questions. Okay, let's see. Let me stop sharing for a second. And sorry, I'm kind of going a little fast, so if there is anything you guys want me to go over again, let me know. I would say coming back to the objective, if you do want to include that, keep it short, 2 to 3 sentences, just what you're looking for, an experience you have, or, you know, if you just want to be general, you know, STEM oriented jobs, you can say, or a passion that you're leaning toward. Definitely, I would say that. So if you don't have any experience, we should focus on more, let's see, definitely classes you've taken. And I would say specifically, like when you talk about those classes, what you like about them, what got you into engineering, or your specific major, what got your piqued your interest. You know, they want to see that you have passion. So I would include an objective about that. And then if there is some sort of experience, like a club that you were in high school, just include that just so you can say, this is what got me into this direction. Passions and interests. Interest, I would say, an objective. But if you have like a personal project, even include that. It doesn't have to be part of a program. But definitely when you are submitting a resume, usually you have a cover letter, so you can talk about yourself more in the cover letter. References, honestly, I don't include references in any of my in my resume when I submit it, but most of the time when you do submit stuff online, they'll ask you for references. So I don't think they're as relevant, but I haven't had anybody ask me for too many references before. Yeah, I haven't included them on my resume. I think maybe for research, definitely you maybe want to include a reference if you did a project with a professor or whatnot. Are there any other tips any of the officers would like to add? Or their personal experience?
From my experiences in the past with like recruiters and interviewing with them, the number one thing that they always talk about is like just to keep it simple. Don't make it too fancy. Because I know like during my freshman year, I tried to make it a little fancy or make it like stand out and pop with color. But over time, I kind of just kept it simple. Just the simple, Times New Roman, size 12. Simple formatting, and they actually do like that. And try not to have your resumes too like word heavy. If you can talk about your experiences within like 2 to 3 bullet points, that'll get the point across, and they actually prefer that over like a paragraph or something.
Yeah, that's a great point. you know, when they're looking at resumes, they're looking at over hundreds of them. So, and they're not looking, like if you print it out and hand it to them, color isn't, they don't really care about that. Just to make it easy to read. So yeah, bullet points, using action verbs to just get straight to the point on, what you did. So like, let me think of an example. So like last summer, I worked for digital industry software at Siemens. And so let's say if I was applying to somewhere new and they don't work on like computer technology, because for that program I was doing 3D models and working on their program that made those. But let's say they do more testing side or do more physical construction that they want me to work on, I would try to apply or change the work experience, the bullet points I have under that, to become relevant to that job I'm applying for. So I could say I learned to, specifically assisted with testing the new versions of that program, or how to make a plan on testing that. And so that would apply to that other job. Like I said before, at the beginning, include any job that you've had. So like even tutoring, if you tutor, it shows that you're not just taking classes, you're doing stuff outside of studying. They want to see that you're well-rounded and that you're open to learning new things, because they know you don't have the experience, but that's what an internship does, or a research program will do. You're learning and adapting to what they provide you with. At the end of the day, just be honest.
I would just add, with the references question, if you are applying to like an undergraduate research experience, usually it's more of a CV than a resume, and I put your references on there, and a lot of the summer research programs require like one letter of rec from some faculty. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I haven't applied to any research programs, so that's good. But yeah, definitely, if you do, try to reach out to your professors, right, starting now, so that way you will have somebody in the future you can have, reference from. So, trying to think. Are there any other questions? As a mentor, so let's see. Just shooting them a quick email. I'm just saying your interests, if they would be interested, if they have time. If it's a subject, if it's a specific subject that you enjoy, you can emphasize that and say, to ask if they do have any tips that they would provide specifically, or if they are, you can search up all your professors and see if they are involved on any labs on campus as well, like if you want them to mentor you in that way, or shadow them. But teachers, professors might seem intimidating, but once you just send them a quick email, like they may seem intimidating in lectures, but shooting them an email, they're pretty relaxed, to be honest, and they actually like people contacting them. All right, have a good class.
I think professors like talking about themselves. So you just ask about their experience and their jobs they might have had and just any tips. I think they'll definitely want to talk to you more about that.
Definitely. Yeah, so definitely for if you do see, like, let's say you don't have a specific professor, but if you want to reach out to them about potential, I know, working in a lab or something, definitely just shoot them an email. I got my research position just by going to office hours and constantly keeping contact with my professor, to the point that he thought, oh wow, she's really dedicated, and they potentially reached out to me. So definitely utilize your office hours with your professors. I know not everybody does, and it can be, you're like, I don't really want to, or it's intimidating to be with the professor one-on-one rather than just in a Zoom lecture. So definitely pushing yourself out there, because any connection you can make now is just one more thing you can potentially add to your resume in the future. Yeah. And so another thing about interests and passions, I would say I added just like a small members and affiliation section in my resume. And so I put all the clubs I'm a part of, besides, not just professional, but otherwise, to see, sometimes recruiters have been part of the same clubs while they were in college. One is like, I'm part of like the sailing club on campus. So I've had, recruiters talk about that or find that interesting as well. They want to see that you're going out there and you push yourselves forward. I mean, now with COVID it's a little more difficult, but there's still things you can, stay active in. Is there any other advice you guys would want to portray to our members? I know this was I kind of went through this really quickly, but I wanted to see what everybody personally wanted to add to the resume. If you guys want to share or willing to share your resume, you guys can. I can have you guys share your screen. We can all look at it. Or if not, I will be at my office hours after this meeting as well for one-on-one, help, assistance. But, it is a process, just constantly adding and building onto your resume. So something you always have to just go back to. And yeah, even as you build your experiences, I would recommend having like a separate document where you can keep all your references or anybody you come in contact with, phone numbers, emails, because a lot of the time when you do apply online, they will ask, oh, who do you know from this company? Or even like if it was an internship, what month did you start, what month did you end? So it's just good to keep like a record of all your experience, even just for when you're applying and plugging in that information to make applying online easier. Yeah, sure. Love to see it here. I don't know. How do I give everyone? Okay. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I love the format. That's really easy to read. Contact, LinkedIn, Perfect. Top skills. Oh, is this from, oh, you have this on the PDF. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's from LinkedIn. I just downloaded my profile essentially.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome.
you just save to PDF or like build resume, and it puts everything that you typed in there into a document.
Oh, cool. That's perfect. Yeah. I would say, I forgot to mention this earlier, that for keep your resume to one page usually. Most of the time, unless you have like you need to show more, but they usually will only look at the top page anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So I know you just downloaded this, so but yeah. Jamba Juice Manhattan Beach Day. I know what that is.
So obviously, like for a specific job, you would tailor this document to fit one page and to tailor that posting, correct? With keywords and stuff?
Yeah. And definitely make it so, you know, if you do have a lot of jobs and you want to remove some of them, just do the most recent ones that you've accomplished so that they know, like, I mean, if they do ask for farther back, you can give it to them, but just so, like, there's no gaps in time in your resume itself, so they're not wondering, oh, what'd you do from this time to this time? And yeah, I would, like, change all of the descriptions so that way it is all in bullet points and specific to what you're applying for. Because, oh yeah, you have some volunteer. That's great too. People love to see that in education. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and to make things fit, I sometimes just put the month on the other side. So like, actually, so instead of like everything on the left, yeah, put the month to the right and on the same line as yeah.
Oh, I see.
Just to make sure, like, to make everything fit into one page, because I always have that problem, especially with when you have like multiple bullet points underneath, so anything you can fit to squeeze everything in and use the full, width of the page.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And I don't know if you need that whole bar on this, like the whole bar on the side empty, because I mean, if that
Right.
helps, yeah, keeping your skills to the top and just listing them, and you can say, I think I just have mine listed, but if
Like
you
at the
want,
You have yours listed like at the end? Your
no,
skills?
I have my skills I have at the very top, because
Okay.
it depends on what job, like, what's your major?
Computer engineering?
Computer engineering, yeah. So you'd want definitely your skills at the top, especially with the programs,
Yeah.
Yeah. Computer engineering. Oh, okay. Yeah. Top skills. And if you want, you could listen to two. You could say, oh, I'm proficient in this, but then excellent at this, and then list those. Or you could just do it all in one. Like I just have mine all listed on one bullet point. Or like you could have it. Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yeah. I don't know. Anybody else have any other advice they would say for her resume? But yeah, just fitting everything to one page is definitely major.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else want to share their resume? Okay, cool. No pressure, but yeah. Yeah, through screen share.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Perfect. Cool. Okay, so you have, yeah, your GPA for all.
It's a little outdated,
Mm-hmm.
but like I have a master resume and I wanted to add more, but I was just afraid of like bunching everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like with the references, like you said, we don't really need that, so I guess I could like take it out.
Yeah,
But
oh, go ahead, sorry.
I would like to put like an objective or like interest section too.
Yeah, I have a affiliation section that yeah. Or if you have, do you have volunteer experience you can add? Yeah, definitely objective. If you're looking for something specific, I would include that, or need something else to add, I would definitely include that. And you could always make your education smaller, so that way you can have more room for experience or your objective.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you have a LinkedIn, you can add that too at the top. But yeah, it's good you have your school email. I would personally do a personal email, but you know, that is a professional email.
Okay.
Yeah. Hands-on experience. Oh, did you do the Boeing? Was that through
In high school.
in high school? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was part of the same one. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Worked on Excel. Me too. That's awesome. That's awesome. So many people from the same program.
Would you recommend me to to limit the amount of bullet points under that?
Probably, or if you can combine them to make it like
Okay.
limit to 3, and maybe not, you don't need sections like that indent, but
Okay.
focus on specifically what project you're involved in, like the Helix antenna. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know, at the end of the day, any place you go, you're just solving a problem. So to show them that you have that skills on how to take on any kind of problem, you have potential. So simplified in that way. But you can. Did you guys do the presentation at the end? Like where you guys all shared what you got worked on?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I would include, like, say that, you're part of like a podium, or like I know there's programs and projects in that as well. Say you include, yeah, you shared your information with all the engineers working there as well. Show them that you had to do some sort of public speaking maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, awards are good. And certifications. Skills, yep. Skills, I would be more specific, not just like hardworking, just because it's kind of general. Like, what's your major?
A biomedical.
Biomedical. That's something
Yeah.
I'd also include in your education. So,
Okay.
maybe at this point you don't need your high school education. I don't know
Right.
if you need that. Instead, focus on Long Beach. Yeah, if you have your when you're graduating, also, yeah, your major, like what your definitely your major.
Okay.
I don't know if I said that about the last resume. I just caught that now, but um Trying to think. Yeah, definitely. Shrink your education down a bit. You don't need a bullet point for the GPA, just have it there, listed there. Oh.
Okay.
Make sure everything's the same font. And then if you want to have dedications for titles, yeah, doing all caps or bold is great. So
Okay.
yeah. And I don't know if anybody else has anything they would recommend or. Sorry, I have another monitor. That's why I keep looking up. But.
Am I allowed to recommend something?
Oh yeah, of course.
Hello, I'm Lexi, guys. I used to be an officer, so hello. I would just say, like, proofread. For example, on your engineering internship with Boeing, like Excel should be capitalized, the E. Just little stuff like that. And then if you're gonna have one period at the end of a bullet point, then all the other ones need to have periods. And if they don't, just make sure you're consistent.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Okay.
consistency is definitely key for it to look professional.
But it looks fantastic. Like, look at you, got all these good things, so qualified.
Thank you.
Yeah, campaign internship. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, that's with skills, do be specific. Like if you have I don't know, well, for engineering, I would put like SolidWorks or like any other 3D modeling programs, or for computer science, what programs, like C++, or Python, or furthermore, for, like if you're proficient in Excel, I would include that, or just say Microsoft Office programs, because a lot of those are kind of assumed now. Yeah, you have a question?
Like, do you have to put it into like just one line or one word essentially?
For your title?
Yeah. Yes.
So, wait, what are you asking? I'm a little confused, sorry.
No worries. I'm gonna share my screen so that I can kind of. So like for here, since I was in charge of so many things, I wasn't sure how to, put that into a title. Like, here it's like cook, payroll manager, but here it's like word vomit, a lot of things.
Yeah, I would say keep it simple, and then if you can include all of that in your bullet points of like what you manage and operated. I don't know if did you have like one title, or did you, like, it almost looks like you bounced around multiple, or you had multiple titles in that one place.
Yeah, I ran the restaurant, so I did like everything.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't sure how like to put that into a title. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So bullet point, that stuff, and then kind of just restaurant management, maybe?
Yeah, I would just, pretty much simplify it. Otherwise, it looks a little complicated,
Right.
Just
Cool.
make it general, so then you can explain below that you did pretty much everything.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, definitely have a lot of experience. It's pretty cool. But did anybody else want to share their resume? We only have a couple minutes left. Yeah. Yes, of course.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Perfect.
I kind of like, it's not updated for like my LinkedIn and like SWE, like my committee position, but it's like my old one that I kind of had.
That's
And I
okay.
wasn't sure like how specific I'm supposed to be because I went to a workshop with like the COE, and it was she was saying like make it more engineering based, but it's like some of my awards were like just kind of everything, so I wasn't really sure.
Did they point out specifically what they thought needed to be more engineering based? Like, I see that you have AutoCAD and HyperWorks.
Yeah, like she was saying like not the cheer thing or the taekwondo, and like I understand that, but I was like that kind of I don't know, for me it makes me seem like more well-rounded, but I'm not really sure if that's just like you don't really need it at all kind of thing.
I may, can you scroll down? Like, it's so you have it in your experience, like you work there or you're assistant there, instructor? Yeah. Okay. And then for experience, I would title the Society of Women Engineers, you know, maybe not just experience, but, you know, if these are, here, let's see, what's another title? Don't clump them all together. Like, say some of them is work experience, and then another, you would put that under leadership.
Okay.
You know,
because this was from high school. Like I made a club in high school, and that was like kind of old, so I wasn't really sure how to put that all together.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, now I would probably remove that.
Okay.
Anything that, oh, yeah. Oh, well, 2018, 2019, maybe not. But yeah, maybe. Sorry, this. I mean, if martial arts is a passion, you could put that as part of an affiliation or membership instead of just a job. So that way you can focus on your engineering, or you know, if you want it to look more, I don't know, that's just, if you wanted to remove that or add it, but still keep it on there, that's all I can think of. Because like, yeah, if that's something you're passionate about, include it. But it is also, it isn't technical based. But then again, any experience I think is good experience. But when you do start getting more experience, you do have to start getting picky about what you include and what you focus on, you know?
Yeah, that
so
makes sense.
I wouldn't clump it everything under just experience. I'd make, you know, spread it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So work experience, maybe leadership, affiliations, volunteer. I would add, if you have any volunteer, add that. But awards are good. I don't know if you want to add, another thing you can add is, oh, do you have your, I would put education toward the top with your major.
Okay. Yeah, I had that in some other part, but I couldn't find it. So this is like kind of old.
Okay. Yeah. So I would just put your education at the top, just so, you know, just by at a glance, they can see your GPA and your major.
Okay.
There's a lot of positions they're looking for a specific major for the job. And then let me see. And then you can add like relevant classwork, maybe. at the bottom, the very bottom, if you want to add something else. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Anybody
so
else?
much.
Oh, sorry.
Just say thank you.
If anybody has anything else to add.
Okay, give me a second to get here.
Oh, in the chat, they said, yeah, so I guess italics isn't something that softwares can process.
Oh, italics.
Yeah. So where you have volunteer, I think those are italics, right? Your volunteer. Yeah. So apparently that is I didn't know that. That's a good tip.
I didn't know that either.
Programs can't run that. So yeah, avoid italics. No.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. Is there anybody else that want to share their resume? Last one. I think was that everyone? I think everybody did. Yeah. If you guys have any other tips to add, or if I missed anything, please share. But I hope I helped, or that helped everyone. Found it useful material. But yeah. Okay, awesome. Happy it can help. All right. Well, it's 1 o'clock, so that's our meeting, guys. Thanks for joining, participating, being a part of this. Bye, everyone.